Seth Trimble. I think Seth Trimble was a guy that um, excited folks last year in limited minutes, and then don't know if it was dealing with some nagging injuries or just the change in playing time or the inability to have some regular playing time to count on. But it looks like he lost a little bit of his confidence in his shooting stroke. And from what we've been able to tell, it seems like that shooting stroke has been rebuilt in the offseason. But I want to ask you, what a success look like for Seth Trimble as we head into the season?
I think success for him. I think you hit it on the head that his confidence was shot, and that really took away a lot of his offensive game. I think you can probably count on one hand the number of times we saw him go to one of his go-to high school moves, which is a left-handed pull-up jumper from 12 to 15 feet. Even there's some situations he did get to that spot, but he was probably overthinking and he wanted to either pump fake or try to wait for the defender to go by him, resulting in a block shot, bad shot, or turnover. So I think for him, success is going to look like uh, not thinking, just playing. He didn't have any dunks last year. He's a high flyer. He wanted to get out in transition and showcase that. But more often than not, he would get into the paint and try to force it or not really know what to do. So I think this season, if he can play a little more freely, he's teams are still going to dare him to shoot it. So he's going to have to showcase, that he can take more than six threes and make more than one on the season. But I think if he can attack, he went a stretch from early December to mid January where he was getting high teens, close to 20 minutes per game. But it's really that UVA game at UVA that I think that's when the bottom kind of dropped out. So if he can provide solid defense, obviously it's going to be a little challenging with RJ and Elliott there, but he can be a very solid on-ball defender. He can run the floor well in terms of getting out in transition, and if he can just, I'd say, be serviceable from an offensive standpoint, I think we can start to see what a lot of us expected to see as a freshman.
Yeah, and I went on record last year saying that, yeah, I thought he was absolutely going to baptize somebody because he is a bit of an elevator, does have the ability to get out in transition, and it was shocking to see him struggle or just not even get a lot of opportunities at that. Sherrell, what can fans count on from a revamped shot owner, Seth Trimble, for this coming season?
Oh, you know what I'm gonna say because I say it every time about this. You can count on him bothering opposing guards. He has the size, the athleticism, and frankly, the mindset to kind of be one of you and Tommy's favorite things on defense, which is a dog. A dog. He can bark at people. Now he has all the things that you want in a really good defender. And I think you talk about kind of letting the defense flow into his offense. I think if he's in the game and he's able to get up in guys and really bother them, I think that'll help with his aggression on the offensive end. Because to me, and maybe it's kind of the same thing, saying lack of confidence, lack of aggression. But I think it was more a lack of aggression. There were times when you were like, man, Seth, you could really go by this guy and just lay it over him, or you really probably could dunk on him if you wanted to. So I think part of it is mindset, and that's very much related to confidence. But if he gets some wins on the defensive end, I think that'll fuel the offense. So definitely defense, I think, is what you can count on every game, and especially with UNC potentially having a smaller-ish backcourt than it's had in the past. They're really going to need him to guard some wings, to guard some bigger point guards. So there's going to be a role for him. So I go back to defense.